I don't think that I, of all people, need to be the one to tell you that, there's never been a better time to have a basic set of morals. I mean, every social media comment section full of bots promoting people flipping pics of their birthday suit should really be the one to tell you that. But even me, as a person whose main concern revolves around pixels dancing pretty on a monitor, over the years, I've learned to transcend whatever morals I can into not only the games I play, but also revolving around the games I decide to talk about here in the weekly gamer yap sessions that I host. I try to be fair even if I don't like a certain company. I'll base my opinions and thoughts around both people who do and don't like certain games, just some basic unbiased YouTuber shit. Except when I'm talking about Ubisoft. Ubisoft is a company that I grew up playing their biggest games and thought really highly of them as a kid, but based on their decisions in just the last decade, me finding out about the stupid things that they do felt like how every kid in the 80s did when they learned that wrestlers got muscles are more than just vitamins. It was a stab is what I'm trying to say, and every time I've talked about Ubisoft here on the channel, it's just been to shit on these bad actions that they somehow found a way to squeeze out of their overseas offices. But once their latest game, Skull and Bones, came to existence, and once I personally played their playtest for Skull and Bones, and then recently had the nerve to get the recent article violating my retinas of Ubisoft CEO saying that Skull and Bones is worthy of $70, yeah, I took that personal. If you don't already know, 𝘕𝘕-𝘕-𝘊𝘖𝘗, Ubisoft CEO, aka the same dude who put his job's duty in the hands of his own employees because, why the hell not, recently came out on an interview defending the latest Skull and Bones game, dropping in a few days, saying that it's got so much content and that it's so well deserved for the $69.99 price tag that it's going to charge, even with it being a live service game that's going to charge you even more should you decide to pay into it. That last statement alone invalidates everything this dude could even say, but it gets even better. Now, Skull and Bones is a game that suffered a countless amount of delays over the years, since 2017 to be exact, and it got so bad that more people started knowing the game for it being delayed, rather than the savage pirate adventure that they claimed to be offering with Skull and Bones. But you know how the saying goes, all publicity is good publicity, and with all that, they still managed to build a good amount of hype for the expected game they were teasing us with in, all those trailers that they were dropping. Even me, even while I hated Ubisoft's company, I still had thoughts that Skull and Bones would at least be a decent game after being in production longer than most of TikTok's user base age. So when I got the opportunity to play in one of Skull and Bones playtests a few months back, I was excited, to try it out and see what was finally up. But Ubisoft found a way to spin back another shit that I was talking beforehand, because that playtest was 3 hours of my life that I will never, ever get back. First off, you can't even leave your boat in the game unless you're going onto one of those green zone islands to either pick up a mission or customize something for your character. No type of combat, no type of, real interaction, just basically an avatar going to different places. And other than that, you're forced to sail the seas in the most repetitive ship combat gameplay for the whole meat of the game. It's literally just a toned down version of Assassin's Creed ship gameplay, but of course with less going on, since you can't even leave your ship and board the enemy ship on your own, but instead get your AI shipmates to do that for you. And that was what I experienced a few months ago in that playtest. So you think that, the game would change a little bit from then based on the feedback that they received from the playtest, but even now it's still the same thing. What you're watching now on the screen is MKIceandFire's latest Skull and Bones video from the current open beta that you can access right now for free if you don't believe me, and it is pretty much the exact same mediocre game that I played a few months ago. Not even close to being worth the $70 price tag if you value your money. So how could it even be like this? How could Ubisoft even push out a game that so many people are seeing how mid and lacking that it is? Well, officially, the game's original creative director left the title years ago, so that could probably explain the game's mixed direction internally, but unofficially, there's rumors that the game would have been scrapped by now by any other rational studio since 2017, but due to a subsidy payment agreement between Ubisoft and the Singapore government, they had to put the game out legally even if they knew it was going to be ass just to keep getting that money from the government. But of course, those are just rumors in the industry, so take all that with a grain of salt. But if you ask me, that kinda makes sense, because who in the world is really gonna put out a $70 toned down Assassin's Creed chip game and expect it to be taken seriously? The math's not mathing. So that is my honest opinion on Skull and Bones, and to my surprise, it is also the general consensus with the people who've played this game right now on the internet, which I didn't even realize, because my opinion came straight from my experience from just a few months ago, and I just ran with that, didn't even look online for anybody else's. But overall, my message to all of you is to not let your best of smooth words deceive you. This game is nowhere near worth $70 if you don't have money to burn, and in its current state, it will get repetitive as hell after the first few hours. Not saying it can't be fun, especially if you would like Assassin's Creed ship gameplay and would like to play a game that was like the diet version. But I truly believe that this is a title that you should wait for a sale to happen before you decide to experience what Skull and Bones currently has to offer. So what do you guys think about Skull and Bones if you played it already, or if you haven't played it already, man? Feel free to comment below. As always, if you like on the video, subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you on the next one.